The two-week confrontation between the government and the armed forces of Armenia entered a new phase on Wednesday. The Prime Minister's office announced that Onik Gasparyan was legally dismissed from the post of Chief of the General Staff of the Armed Forces. The Prime Minister has already submitted a petition to the President for the reappointment of the former Chief of the General Staff Artak Davtyan to that position, which the President has not signed yet. Davtyan was relieved of the post of Chief of the General Staff for celebrating his son's wedding during the quarantine amid the COVID-19 restrictions. After that, he was appointed chairman of the Military Industry Committee but resigned after the war. And Tuesday, by the decision of the Minister of Defense, he was appointed senior officer at large. The Prime Minister's statement Wednesday was followed by Onik Gasparyan's statement, which said that he had applied to the administrative court. In his statement, he urged the generals, officers, and soldiers to continue their service. After that, the leadership of the armed forces made a statement noting, and we quote, "The command staff of the RA Armed Forces joins the message of Colonel General Onik Gasparyan and confirms the assessments given so far on the current situation in the Republic." End of quote. President Armen Sarkisyan, who did not sign the order to dismiss Onik Gasparyan, has 3 days to sign the decree appointing Artak Davtyan. The decree, however, will enter into force even if he does not sign it. The Prime Minister, Nikol Pashinyan, submitted a proposal to dismiss Onik Gasparyan from the post of Chief of the General Staff of the Armed Forces back on February 25th, as Gasparyan was among those who demanded Pashinyan's resignation. On February 27th, the Prime Minister's office received the President's objections to the above-mentioned draft. Armen Sarkisyan said that he would not sign Onik Gasparyan's dismissal decree and would apply to the Constitutional Court to challenge the constitutionality of the law on the basis of which the Prime Minister had submitted his proposal. Despite the calls made by various political forces, Armen Sarkisyan did not dispute at the Constitutional Court the petition to dismiss Onik Gasparyan from the post. Some lawyers claim that the Constitution does not authorize the President or the Prime Minister in general to dismiss the Chief of the General Staff of the Armed Forces. On Tuesday evening, when it became known that the deadline for Armenian President Armen Sarkisyan to dispute Prime Minister Nikol Pashinyan's proposal to dismiss Onik Gasparyan had expired, the opposition protests near the parliament escalated. The opposition movement's PM candidate Vazge Manukyan called on the protesters to block all the entrances to the parliament so that the MPs could not enter the parliament building. The police tried to put pressure on the protesters, and this led to clashes. However, the demonstrators managed to close off all the entrances that the MPs used in order to enter the building. Also, the protesters pitched tents and spent the night there. They called traitors all those MPs whom they saw passing nearby, thus provoking some of the parliament members. The main entrance of the parliament buildings are still closed. The MPs are forced to enter the building through the service entrance. The opposition said they are going to protest until PM Pashinyan resigns or the MPs impeach him. By the way, the Derek Demircan Street of the Armenian parliament building is closed off for over 10 days now. Moscow in turn expresses hope for a speedy settlement of the situation in Armenia. The situation in Armenia is the internal affair of that country. Russia is interested in resolving the situation as soon as possible, Russian Deputy Foreign Minister Andrei Rudenko told Wednesday. Russia hopes that the situation in Nagorno-Karabakh will not escalate, Rudenko added. President of Azerbaijan Ilham Aliyev has heralded joint transport projects with Turkey via Zangezur. I must say that the Turkish press and all non-governmental organizations showed tremendous support to Azerbaijan during the war, Aliyev said. Turkey and Azerbaijan started having an appetite for transport projects after the statement signed by Armenian Prime Minister Nikol Pashinyan on November 9th last year and the specification of the Armenian-Azerbaijani border that followed. The Armenian authorities have agreed to specify the border in Sunik province of Armenia. Moreover, the authorities are not refuting the existence of a certain document on Sunik province. Simultaneously, Azerbaijan is not the legal successor of the Azerbaijan Soviet Socialist Republic, but the legal successor of the Democratic Republic of Azerbaijan. Congressman Brad Sherman, a senior member of the Foreign Affairs Committee of the House of Representatives, in powerful remarks submitted to the Congressional Record, condemned the Azerbaijani massacres of Armenians in Sumgayit, Kirovohrad, and Baku. 33 years ago, in the Azerbaijani town of Sumgayit, peaceful Armenian residents were brutally targeted on the basis of their ethnicity and subjected to unspeakable crimes, he noted. Unfortunately, Azeri attacks against Armenian civilians have only continued. In its latest bout of aggression against Armenia and Artsakh in the fall of 2020, Azerbaijan carried out indiscriminate attacks against civilians. He added, noting that the government of Azerbaijan must be held accountable by the international community. Armenian Foreign Minister Aliyev will visit the United Arab Emirates. Talks will be held Thursday between the foreign ministers of Armenia and the UAE, Aliyev and Sheikh Abdullah bin Zayed bin Sultan Al Nahyan. As of Wednesday morning, 340 new cases of the coronavirus were confirmed in Armenia, and the total number of these cases has reached 175,538 in the country. Also, 5 more deaths from COVID-19 were registered, making the respective total 3,237 cases. The number of people who have recovered over the past 1 day is 163. The total respective number so far is 165,259, and the number of people currently being treated is 6,208. NATO Secretary General Jens Stoltenberg has declared Turkey's critical importance, Daily Sabah reported. I think that we need to understand that Turkey is an important ally because you can just look at the map and then you see that Turkey is extremely important, Stoltenberg said at an online event with California-based Stanford University. In response to a question about whether Turkey should be excluded from NATO amid relations between the Turkish president and his Russian counterpart, Stoltenberg noted that Turkey has been of great importance, citing its geographical proximity to Iraq and Syria, the progress made in fighting the Daesh terrorist group, and bases and airports there.